Hello all and welcome to another video in my journey to 1 million Gamerscore, and August is done, so it's time to bring to you August part 2. So what did I do in August part 2? Well, I got 3 completions, one that you can tag as super easy. I showed the Xbox 360 a little bit of love, and I took advantage of one of the games with gold, which I put a lot of time into. So let's go to the games and crack on and show you what I got. And if you've seen these before, as I always say, I like to do this in chronological order, and I did start by taking advantage of the Games with Gold offering, and that was Forza Motorsport 6. So pleased that this turned up actually. I know they're on to 7, but Forza Motorsport 6 is a great game. It's a beautiful game, and I've looked at my stats, and it's taken me 25 hours to get that 445 G out of it, and I did speed it up by making it easy for myself. I made it as easy as possible as I could and still had a little bit of challenge to it, but I could have made it even easier, but I wasn't hindered by the level I had it on. So once you play through all the story modes, you get a lot of achievements for doing that, leveling up and stuff like that. There are 6 sections of this story mode, and once you've completed it, done the minimum requirement, you will have 70% on each section, and then it gives you the chance to go back and do every race in every section, which I think is an achievement as well. So I'll play through a lot of that and got a few of the miscellaneous achievements as well. I then, once I'd finished with the story mode, I did do a few car specific ones by going to free play. Now, of all of the car specific ones, you actually only need to buy 1 car, the rest you can rent. So I was able to do that, set up the races to really easy and to a short amount of laps, but at least do 2. It's tricky to get it out of 1 lap, so don't be tempted to do 1. I learnt the hard way there. Make sure there's at least 2 or 3 laps if you set it up for the car specific race win achievements in free play. Other achievement I bought the cover car, which you can see in the thumbnail there. That will cost you 250,000 credits, but you'll get a lot of credits out of doing the career mode. Plus, every time you level up, you get a spin, and I was very fortunate enough to get 1 million credits twice within a few spins. So, you can buy that car for $250,000, and if you don't want to use it, you can actually sell it and get 125,000 back straight away as well. So there is still some more to get out of this for me, but it is not too difficult what I've got out of it. It's just lengthy. It will take you time to get achievements out of this, but there are still a few I can pick off. I will return to it. There is one for driving a car at 250 miles an hour, which I haven't got, but the bar is at like 98% progression, so I got very close once, but didn't quite make it. So Forza Motorsport I will return to. I also bought the add-on in the sale as well for nothing, so all 1500 is now available to me. Just need to return to it at some point. Okay, so above that is Mecha Bolt. This is the super easy completion. It's another Ratter-like a game special. It's a side-scrolling platformer where you use your gun to manipulate the odd object or 2. If you finish the entire first world, that will pretty much have you set along the way in getting your completion. You will need to do a few levels in the second world to sort of come across certain enemies to sort of make sure you've got all the meet certain enemies achievements, and then once you've got all of those, and if you're struggling with the first few levels on the second area, you can then flip into the third area just to get what is called batteries and fill up your achievements for getting all the batteries that are required. I think it's up to 50 or something like that, can't quite remember, but to be honest with you, no guide was needed by me. 45 minutes to an hour. Some people record it a lot quicker. You might just get stuck on the odd 1 or 2 puzzles every now and again that might set you back a little bit, but apart from that, it is a super easy completion. It's a Ratter-like a special, and it will take no time at all really in comparison to Forza Motorsport below it, which took 25 hours. So there you go. Okay, above that, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I did intend to get more out of this. I've started the second game after completing the first game but not getting all the achievements. I'm just trying to play through them all and finish them all and get as much out of I can as possible. So I started the second one night, finished the first world, all 5 levels within that I was able to get a relic out of. Getting 5 relics is an achievement in Crash Bandicoot 2. Also, that means I met the boss and got the achievement for beating him. Did get one other achievement as well, I do believe. I got 3 out of it. I can't quite remember what that achievement was. Let's have a look. Oh, I discovered a bonus path, which basically just happened. There was one that you just couldn't really miss. It was there, it just dropped down this gap, and it was there. Okay, so Dark Void was on 180 at the end of August part 1, so I played through the campaign and ended up on just under 800 by playing through the campaign naturally. Got a few of these accumulative total achievements, so then after I completed the campaign, you get a 100 achievement for completing the campaign, just called Complete Dark Void, and once I'd done that, I just picked off about 6 sort of accumulative totals and rather random specific in-level achievements. I think one for dabbing your feet wet in the river while still flying, and just things like that. So I use true achievements to help me find the certain spots as well, to pull out those odd individual achievements that I didn't quite amass during my playthrough, and got up to 850 as you'll see out of it. I think that total 850 probably took me around about 15 hours, the campaign being around about the 12-hour mark of that alone. So it's good. You can pick this up for 50p in CX. I mean, it's not an amazing game, but for 50p it is a decent game. For 50p you cannot grumble. So go down CEX and pick up a copy of this if you want to get 850 in around about 15 hours, I would say, and have a reasonable amount of fun with it as well. So yeah, I enjoyed my time with Dark Void. I'm not gonna write it off as a bad game. Okay, above that I spent one evening, about 6 hours, with F1 Race Stars. It is exactly what it looks like. It is very Mario Kart with real Formula 1 drivers in a sort of a cartoony caricature, that's the word, appearance. Fantastic little racing game, a lot of fun. Not entirely easy. You will pick up a few real easy achievements to start with. Sort of, I flew to about 80g in no time at all, and then I spent a lot of time with it racing and getting up to 200g. There's an achievement for winning each sort of country once, which is worth 10g. It's not as easy as it sounds. The amount of times I come second was unbelievable. Like other cars do use the shortcuts and find a key to sort of unlock a shortcut, which is also an achievement. There's one track which is not too bad to do that. I think it's Belgium, but you have to kind of get into second. You can't be first, otherwise a key won't appear for you. But if you're in second or further back, then you have to get there before some of the computers and get this key and use the hidden sort of shortcut to unlock that achievement. But anyway, I'm going on a bit here. 200g in about 6 hours, an extremely fun game. If you can pick this up for cheap, I do recommend this if you like your kart races. Okay, above this is another easy completion. You'll see I played at my Windows. That's because it became available on the Windows 10 store. I've already done this on the Xbox One version, and so as soon as I saw it available on the Windows store, I was like, yep, having that. It takes around about an hour and a half, because it's not that difficult at all. It's more of a five-a-side sort of setup on a real pitch. And pick Brazil. Honestly, Brazil are the best setup for this game at all. Caravan mode is score 5 goals in 5 minutes. Yes, you can't adjust the level, but the first level isn't too bad. My tip for scoring a goal is basically get to the edge of the area, press shoot. The keeper does actually save it like 99 times out of 100, but it's all about the rebound. As soon as if you get to that rebound, it's going to go in. It goes in quite a bit as well. So yeah, the caravan mode is not too difficult. High score mode is the one that you might need a couple of attempts on. I needed one extra attempt. I didn't win the third game. I drew it. So high score mode, you're obviously not being able to adjust the levels. You'll fly through the first game if you pick Brazil, and then the other two games will be a tiny bit of a struggle because you can't adjust the level. But I was able to get through it. I think I won the second game 3-0 on my successful run, and then won the last game 2-0 on my successful run as well. But I did need a second run just because it can be a tiny bit tricky. But as I say, once you've got the hang of scoring a goal by shooting at the edge of the area and keep mashing shoot so you can hit the rebound straight away, but scoring goals then becomes relatively simple and not too much of a chore. And then for the original mode, you can crank it down to level 1. You can crank the match time down to a minimum of 30 seconds, but I kept it over a minute to be safe. And then once it's on level 1, it's not that difficult at all. Should you not be able to win a game, it gives you options to sort of carry on the game again. And if you do lose, or you need to restart a game, it doesn't void your run as well. So once you get to the top bracket, which is 8, you can then either play through, which I think is, I can't remember if it's 9 or 10 games, which is not too much. I decided to play through, but once you've got your 8 wins, you can decide to lose the next one or do whatever, and then just make sure you register high score for 1000g in an hour to an hour and a half. Definitely a 1 to 2 hour completion. Super easy, this one of the easiest football games from the Neo Geo collection made available. Okay, so the next 360 game I decided to play was Wet. I've been looking forward to playing this a long time, finally got round to it. That character you see there, she's a badass woman with dual wielded pistols, shotguns, swords. It's a great game, it really is. You jump in the air, you go into slow-mo when you shoot, pretty much Max Payne style. Also with your knee slides, also when you run walls, you go into slow motion shooting mode. Great little story, a little bit frustrating at times, but overall it is a good game. That 185, a lot of that is, or all of that is actually played through on normal and progressional. So I would say I probably put only about 3 or 4 hours into it so far. I want to finish the campaign on normal. Maybe go back and pick up a few miscellaneous achievements that I might have missed out on once I've read the descriptions afterwards. But Wet is a lot of fun actually. It's a real good game. It's only £1 in CEX as well, so this is going on my cheap recommendation games list as well. And then finally, above that, the last completion of the month. Yes, it was quite a short month for me just because I had a holiday. Also, work was brutal this time of year for me. School holidays and all that, and working in aviation, a lot of people going on holidays, brutal, busy, so I was tired a lot as well. But I did squeeze in one more completion before the month was over, and Captain Cat is a real fun little puzzle game. You're this cat in this boat, you drop the anchor and you've got to catch the fish is below, but there are in the little puzzles where you, once you drop the line, you then press X to sort of make it stay on anchor in that spot, that's the word, and then it will swing and go off sort of in sort of the clock pendulum motion, and then obviously you press A to start the thing again, and you've got to catch the fish at the bottom, and they get progressively difficult, and the obstacles in the way, and just things like that. Anyway, it's a lot of fun, it really is. I think I spent about 4 to 5 hours with it one night. You have to get every star in the first 2 worlds because there are achievements for doing that. While you're on the mission to do that, you will actually pick up every achievement along the way bar one. And that one achievement is for just finishing the next world, which is called Perfect World. And in Perfect World, you have to catch the fish in one line. But there is a trick in order to do that real quickly, because once you start the first level in that, you press start, skip level, press start, skip level until you get to level 25. Then you only have to finish level 25 in order to complete that world. And in order to complete level 5 or 25, sorry, I found that if you move him all the way to the right hand side, the rock on the right hand side is a bit lower, and then you might take a few attempts, but eventually you'll do it no trouble. But when you're getting all the stars in the other 2 worlds, it will get all the other achievements, totaling 950 for 18G. So you haven't really got to worry too much about aiming for achievements. They will take care of themselves as you do it. The only one that you do need to be a little bit aware of actually is get 3 stars in 2 consecutive levels, but you should do that in the very first 2 levels in the very first world. They're not difficult at all. But Captain Cat was a lot of fun. I really did have a lot of fun with it. Yes, I did find the odd level frustrating and take a little bit of time at it. You may do too, but I do have to tag it as an easy completion and a fun completion as well, and it's not that expensive either. Fun little game, highly recommend Captain Cat. And that brings me to the end of August, people, and August part 2 is now done. So all I really ask is please like, please comment. If you've got any questions about any game, you just want to say hello, I always say please do it here. If I'm on my Xbox, I'm normally busy playing games, watching TV whilst eating, so I can't really reply to the comments there, but I will reply to all comments left in the comments section below here on YouTube. Any questions, or if you just want to say hi. But at the same time, do feel free to follow me here on Xbox Live. You can see what I'm playing, and then it might give you a heads up as to what is easy before you even watch these videos. So yes, please like, please comment, and if you're not subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so. If you are, why not hit that bell? That'll drop you a notification every time one of these or any of my videos drops. So ladies and gentlemen, I think this just leaves me to say thank you for watching, and as always, take care.